And subscribers, dial star 292 hash. Easily and affordable. MTN Zabu says with the Zabu platform, it is your money and your future. Dial star 292 hash and follow the prompt with Zabu, powered by Altex East Africa. It is easily done and affordable for every other person out there. You can easily choose the bonds that you want to invest into, whether 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, as easy as that. You follow the prompts by using your phone and using the USSD code of star 292 hash. Your money, your future. Markets do open at 8:15 a.m. and close at 3:15 p.m. Zabu, your money, your future. Let's get back to our topic of discussion meanwhile. Now, we're speaking e-trade and startups in Uganda. Like I did say, I'm still with Dr. Clement Wiseman, who is the chairman, Tuko Super App Uganda. Let's get into the challenges now, Doctor. Yes. Where are the challenges? What are some of those few hardships or many hardships that you've faced in the field of electronic trading in Uganda?
In Uganda, some of the challenges that which we have faced, we're talking about, before I mentioned about, for example, internet is one thing.
Okay.
Number two, it's the ability to be able to educate people to understand the efficiency, and especially one of the things that which we have to spend a lot is to be able to educate them, for them to see the advantage that is there. Because remember, though after pandemic we've been pushed towards online, but a lot of people is really, and that's one of the things, public education on the importance of talking about e-trade. It's very, very important because it makes things efficient.
Okay. All right. Now, if you're to look at the engagements that you've had with, for example, the local traders here in Uganda, because I've got to realize the apps are quite open. They give huge platforms for everyone. Is there any engagement that you've had with, let's say, local traders that would help them tap into the platform to look for clients as well?
Yes. Actually, with the local traders, actually, this is we have had one of the best special reception, especially from the local traders, because with the Tuko app, actually is providing, it's giving the local, I'm talking about trader, the leverage to be able to be up there, not only just nationally, but also international exposure. And with it, for example, many of them are benefiting. Actually, we've been able to help so many business join in, especially right now, we're doing the breakdown services. For example, when the vehicles break anywhere around between 25 kilometers between central Kampala all the way to outside, you begin to realize a lot of these breakdown drivers and other things, there was no connection. So Tuko app is actually bridging the gap between the service provider, the businesses, and the people that need these services. So for example, now you are a pharmacy, you have a pharmacy there. We are able to connect you to more customers. If you are a plumber, we are able to connect you with more customers. If you are an electrician, we are able to connect you with more customers. If you're a taxi driver, if you're a border, you are able to connect you with more customers.
Okay. And well, borders. Here we already have like transport aided apps, I believe. Hasn't that been a big challenge?
The most amazing thing here is there's so many borders, so many. In our country here, there are so many. I know, for example, we have other apps, but the difference with our app, we're totally different because actually we are giving something back, especially to the border, to the taxi people. Remember that Tuko app is a Ugandan app. So we are actually giving back to our people. Some of the other apps that we have over there, they are invested, they're owned by foreigners, and we really appreciate that because they pull the money from outside to bring in, but also they take in and take it out. Okay. But for us, everything here is owned by Uganda, and this is one of the best apps ever you'll ever come across.
Okay, and speaking of opportunities that are arising, if we talk about e-trade, and let's say startups, I want to imagine that it's not only going to benefit you as the developer. Where are the chances for the Ugandan people, and where are the chances for the local traders, for example? Are there many chances, or through, let's say, opportunities, employment and all that? Where are the benefits?
Actually, as we stand right now, our app is just only 3 months. We have employment opportunity for over 15,000.
Okay.
You know, we're talking about we're having almost a rate of about 1,000 to 2,000, almost about now as we speak right now, about 500. So what I'm about to say is here is with the Tuko app, is actually providing employment. If you are there, let's say for example, you could be working as a doctor, or maybe you could be working as an electrician for your company where you work, maybe for government, and in the evening you could be a taxi driver. You could be maybe, for example, right now working as a nurse where you work from 9 to 5, but in the evening you could do 1 or 2 hours as a private nurse. And we are able to provide that. Another good thing here is, for example, we have partnered with over about 80 restaurants, or we're talking about another pharmacy and other, you know, we're talking about grocery stores, and all these we have provided employment, you know, and people are really benefiting from this, because especially with the high cost of living right now, people are looking for another way, extra income, and Tuko app has been able to provide that opportunity, and people are already benefiting from it.
Okay, let's look at the future of electronic trading in Africa. Where is it heading? Are we expecting people to completely transition to that direction?
Definitely. The world is leaving us with no choice. Right now, if we have to connect with, we're talking about with Europe, America, if we have to be somewhere, we really have to, where are we talking about e-trade, talking about into the area of development, especially, we'll have no choice, but we have to connect. And the only way to do here is we have to keep up with the pace, because apart from that, we're going to be left out. But I thank God, because we, as Ugandan developers, we are making sure that that gap is being met. But though there are a little bit challenge here and there, but at the end of the day, where the world is concerned, we're talking about all the way from the east to the west, we are left with no choice but to catch up, and we must catch up, and we'll catch up.
But then, if you're to look at the people who are left behind, I've come to realize, Uganda only got to realize the importance of looking at the e-trade was during the lockdown. And during that time, because we had travel restrictions and the social distancing here and there, when you look at the lockdown, shaping this industry, but still, after the lockdown, some of the Ugandans have completely failed to trust the electronic platforms. Why do you think so?
This is why it is so important. The reason why, it's not because of technology, it's a lot of, for example, a lot of fraud. That is involved with this platform, and that's one of the things. For example, with the Tuko Super app, we are talking about, we are fraud proof. That is why we tested it in different places, especially with countries with a high level of fraud. And most important, a lot of people, maybe they order things, they were ripped off, things, and that is the reason why. But also our country, our people, fellow Ugandan here, they're always suspicious. You know, first of all, it takes a while, but once they trust something, they trust it. You know, so some of it is based on culture.
It's the nature of the Ugandans.
Yes.
Okay. Because you ideally say the reception was okay, the fact that they will have to embrace, they embrace, Ugandan people do embrace a lot of new things that come through. But however, when you look at the adaptability, sometimes it becomes difficult for them to stay or to remain consistent with following more up with that. But you've mentioned the Ugandans here. Let's look at now the African perspective. How has it been? Because if you're to look at the market here, look at the market in Kenya, for example, look at the market in Nigeria, or look at other countries in Africa where different apps are, where Tuko is as well. How is it different from ours?
Actually, to be honest with you, I have found Tuko, especially we in Nigeria, we're talking about in Kenya, I have found actually Tuko is more easier here. Maybe because we come from here, that could be the reason why, but that's not the point. But the most important thing here is with Tuko app, I have found here in Uganda is much more easier. People are willing to embrace people because and also because of the COVID and other things, people have come to realize that this is the new norm. You know, we have to go this way. And I also like what you said here is our fellow Ugandans, they like to embrace new things, new technology. But with Tuko app, we are able to offer the solution that and I think because when they see what the app can do for them, that is the reason why they have been very receptive, especially to where this technology is concerned.
Okay. And speaking of technology and innovations, you've shown me something to do with
Yes.
flights and on an app.
Yes.
Now, me imagining ordering for a flight on an app. Let's talk security.
Yes.
Because I believe one of the reasons as to why Ugandans are scared of using electronic platforms is because of the security, or they are not sure of the security that comes with these apps, because
Yes.
it's your money that you're using to, for example, order for a flight ticket. Now, if you're to break it down for us, where are the security chances? How secure are the platforms? What do you app developers do to ensure that you secure information, for example, fast information of the client, and then two, the money?
Yeah. Okay, we took our app. Actually, we have one of the most advanced security, which has adapted, or especially adopted it in our app. For example, there's what we call data protection. So one thing, for example, with the Tuko app, we make sure that every information that we have is kept safe. Another thing, which is a little bit totally different here, is if you register for our app as a user, we require you also to upload your photo. And that is the reason why, because of security. We make sure that the service provider that we have as a plumber, doctor, or maybe a taxi driver, border, you know exactly who is going to pick you up. You know exactly who the person is. But also on the other side, for the service provider, they are able to see who the customer is. Another thing, for example, when it comes to money, we operate in 3 ways. Number one, we got special gateways. These are payment gateways. These are completely secure. And guess what? We don't keep any details. All those are kept with your bank.
Okay.
So not us. They are kept with your bank, wherever, because you can pay by cash. You know, if you don't want to use, you can also use, you can top up what we call Tuko wallet, where you can top up maybe with your credit card or even by mobile money. You can top up there, or maybe you could also use your credit card. But if you use anything to do with your card or with your mobile money, we don't have an access to that area. That area still stays with your mobile phone company. It also stays over with your credit card company. So at the end of the day, you can be sure that no one or nowhere can be able to use your details for any fraud.
Okay. And then your final remarks, as we're winding up with our discussion. In the final remarks, I would want you to give, for example, the future prospects of the space, the app developers, tips on anyone who would want to develop an app in Uganda, where and how can they start all that, the startups basically, and then summing it up all.
Good, thank you. My suggestion will be, this is the new technology, this is the new way, and the more apps we get developed, the better it is.
Okay.
So don't be discouraged. You are there right now, maybe you're an innovator, maybe you're a business. Actually, every business right now, if you're there, you're a businessman or a businesswoman, you need to get on the app, or you need to be able to develop an app, or maybe one, you need to be very, very patient. Number two, you have to be very innovative because the technology keeps changing very, very fast. For example, this is not determined by you as a developer. It's actually determined by your carriers. We're talking about things like Google, things like App Store, because they keep pushing towards new technology. So we are left with no choice but to catch up. Another thing, I want to be able, you are there right now, maybe you are looking for a plumber, you want electrician, you live here in Kampala, you don't have to worry anymore. You can download Tuko app. It's available on Google Store, on Apple Store. And all our users, especially from this channel, if you register today, we'll be able to top up your account with 5,000 Uganda shillings to help you to start up, to help you to be able, especially to be able to know how to use this app. And another thing, I want to be able to especially encourage the young innovators there. It is very, very important. 3 things I can always say. So I always say 3 things. 1, believe in God. 2, believe in yourself. And 3, believe in your dream.
Okay.
That's what I can be able to say.
All right. And that is Dr. Clyman Wiseman, who's the chairman Tuko Super App Uganda. He was taking us through eTrade and startups in the country. Many thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for being part of SMB. Well, from that perspective, and that brings us to the end of our topic of discussion. All right, now we get into the SMB Insight, and the SMB Insight this morning is talking about the purpose of trade associations. Where are the prospects, or where are the benefits of being part of these particular trade associations in Uganda? Because these associations promote interests of all those under the trade associations. They save many of the traders lots of things that can be easily unavoidable sometimes. Let's have a look at the SMB Insight and understand more on the purpose of trade unions or trade associations.
They say that if you want to achieve, work, in some kind of group. If you want to fail, walk alone. So therefore, strength is power, and the social capital is something that you'll never play about with. Once somebody beats you with social capital, then you are likely never to get him, because social capital will always bring economic benefits, political benefits, and the rest of the benefits in life. So like, for example, as CAFO, Kampala Arcades Advocacy Forum, looking at all the arcades of Kampala Metropolitan, over 783 arcades, it's a strong voice. What are the achievements of living in a, in a trade union? I'll give you an example. When you look at, I'll start with the teachers union. The teachers union has always been very important in elevating and demanding for their rights as teachers, right from the salary, right from their conditions of living and all that. It has really enhanced them. Let's look at in the legal aspect. We've got the law society, whereby the lawyers or the advocates are in this kind of union, whereby if there is lack of professionalism, they would always come out quickly and probably align. So it's very important. When we look at the medics too. So one, the importance of a union is probably it's a checks and balance for professionalism in anything. Because if people are not within the union of their professions, then people are likely to deviate from the principles and the ethics of the section of life that they are dealing in, of that discipline. So just imagine if lawyers didn't have the law society. Every lawyer would do whatever he wishes and all that. They would hurt clients. They will do a lot of, there will be a lot of unprofessionalism. Look at CAFO, Kampala Arcades. We look at, we are arbitrators. A lot of cases come in every other day of traders, whereby they have been hurt by probably other stakeholders. Somebody really come in here, a clearing agent has really mistreated him. He has not done him just. So what we really do, we really come in and then probably sit the two and then see how we can probably find these two harmonize at the end of the day. So a union is there probably to harmonize certain kind of situations. It is an arbitrator. It's an arbitration ground. So it also avoids people drift all the time that they are in courts of law. You understand? That if CAFO, Kampala Arcades Advocacy Forum, fails to handle a situation, that's when probably it can go to the courts of law. Otherwise, the courts of law would be full. That's why they're having a backlog of cases and all that, because certain sections have not managed themselves so well. You understand? So just imagine every small case. It has not gone into the traders. It is within the traders, and then it's in court. It is in court. The courts alone would have over 1 million cases, but different trade unions, will always hold those conflicts before they escalate to some level. So it's very important to be, and also life is all about benefit. It's all about benefiting, whereby we live in a competition. I want you to know that the teachers would want to be the leaders of this country. The traders also would want to be. So it's a political ground. I want people to know this. Before you elevate to the higher political aspiration, unions are the training grounds. I want to assure you. You hear teachers' unions, and then you find tomorrow somebody is a member of parliament. And I understand that, but he's emanating from the traders' union.
And when you look at trade associations in Uganda, in Kampala there is the Kampala City Traders Association, KASITA, then there is CAFO, there are lots of those, by the way. Now, they generally promote common interest and participate in public relations activities such as advertising, education, political donations, publishing, lobbying on behalf of their members. And there is also a genuine focus on standardization and collaboration between traders, government, traders and government, traders and consumers or the customers. So as a business trader or entity, it is always relevant to at least subscribe to one or two associations in one way or the other, because it comes with lots of benefits, as you've seen on the inside there. And one of the benefits is you're getting recognized. First of all, you're getting in touch with people doing the same things as you are. That means you're targeting a market. And when it comes to business expansion, that means if we are to expand and look for business growth, you get to realize it is easier for you as a business person under a given association to at least come out, sit in these meetings, look out for a way forward. When you look at most of the associations, for example, if at all government is set to bring out a policy that will affect the traders, through your associations, you can throw in your grievances. And once the grievances are thrown in, then government can look through them, because at least you're recognized. You have a starting point. With associations, there's something big about associations. It gives you a sense of ownership, that at least you belong to this association. You're a tailor, you belong to this tailors association, or you are someone running, let's say, a boutique, and this is your association. You're someone who's actually dealing in confectionery. This is where you belong. You're someone who's actually working under arcades, and you belong to an association that brings together traders under Kampala Arcades or Kampala Arcades Association. So things like that. You get to a point and realize it is important to you as a business person to seek for these particular associations. They are very vital and helpful to your business, because they help your business grow. They help you to at least pitch in ideas, to at least engage in activations that happen. Look at the public relations that comes through these associations, the marketing part of it. It is all for the benefit of your business. And I believe to any other person out there, it is something that you would want to venture into, definitely, with the association. So these associations come with lots of benefits, of which you need to look into that space and tap into them. Okay, that is it for the SMB Inside. We've still got 30 minutes to wind up the show, and after the break we go on ground with Barija Andrew. Lots of discussions coming your way. Good morning.